Hello, guys. Hope you're doing fine. Hope everything is going well for you too. Mask making, wonderful thing to do. We can give it to people that need it, people that are vulnerable, that in rest homes. I see a lot of workers going in there, and the one that's close to me, where my dad's at, they only have one mask, and I that's concerning. So this is something we can think about. Olmsted Medical is another one we can think about, and maybe we can help them out as well. So what I'm going to give you to do, I'm going to go through here is the different steps that we need to take, and you'll get your packet. It's at the school, and it's really not hard. I promise you, it's not hard. Okay, so here's where you're at. We're going to go to the video, and I'm going to show you the step-by-step that I set up for you. And in the packet, you're going to find this mask making pattern. Okay, so this is the size of the paper or fabric, excuse me, and it's 9 inches across, 6 inches down. All right, I love this mat board. Most favorite thing. It gives you rulers. You can cut on this. It's self-healing, you know, but it is a must to have. I've used it. I use it for everything. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to, you're going to cut out your fabric. If you haven't, in the kit that I gave you 4, and I gave you 1 that was pinned. I use 100% cotton. I also have been using interfacing, and the interfacing looks something like this. And the deal with this interfacing, it's a 3rd layer. And so that's why I put it in here. I thought it was really good, but I ran out. So there's that. So when you cut out your fabric, you are going to, I'm going to set this up here. You're going to take and cut out your fabric. And what I suggest you do is take all of your fabrics and put them face to face. Even them out and do all of that. Then go and put in your elastic. And your elastic goes on the inside. Place it in like this. You can fold it back if you want. I'm not going to the corner. I'm going to go a little bit above the corner, and it's going to be right about there. So I'm going to set that on top of there like a sandwich. And then I'm going to pin it. And as I pin it, that's in place. Get some more pins here. Notice I've got the background music going. I'm just sitting here, and it's wonderful, and it's a good way to just spend the day, seeing you got to be home anyhow, and turn on some good tunes totally by yourself and just do this. One of the suggestions I would make would do all of these, get them all ready to roll, and before you go to sewing, okay? As you notice, when I put this in, I made sure that this wasn't twisted, so it just goes just like that, okay? Difference of elastic. There's different kinds, and there's some that are really thin, and I do like this one here, but they're really hard to sew across and make sure you get enough of the stitches on it. So I came up with this one with Mrs. Young, and this is really, it doesn't pull, it doesn't bite into you so bad. It's a nice one. I do like that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to put elastic in. I'll pin it in. So all of your masks, I'm going to flip this because I work better this way. All of your mask making, I would suggest do everything first before you go to the sewing machine. Okay, then pin this in here like that. You know, I never was one. When I was a kid, I did a lot of sewing. We actually had to make our own clothes. But as I got older, I got away from it. And I had my mother-in-law doing all the sewing. And now I wish I would have kept at it because it's a really nice, relaxing thing. So you will need 2 elastic, 7 inches long. You just saw those. I put those in there. The fabric needs to be facing each other. The elastic is pinned in each corner. As you can see on the pattern, I show it above that stitch line. This is considered your stitch line. Okay, so I kind of gave you a little map as to what to do. Now, that's your first step. All 5 are ready to go before you go to the second step. Okay, so here's where we're going with that next step. You're gonna go to the sewing machine and you're gonna sew away. Like I said, this is the interfacing, and if you have some, grab it, see if you can use it and cut it. But I start out and I give myself a little gap, and I start out and I sew and I do a back stitch there, and I sew all the way around. I stay as close as possible to the edge, work all the way around. You can kind of see where the elastic ends up. You see it's not in the corner, it's above the corner. Okay, so the next step before I go any further, after I've got all 5 done, I go like this. I'm going to cut the edges so I don't have a lot of bulk when I go to turn this around. I'm going to move this over here. Now, when I go to pull this out, I got to go to my little opening, and I just start putting my finger in there and working the fabric out by just kind of pulling it. And once you get a hold of that elastic, you can kind of pull it right out. So gently kind of work it out. Let's see, here's my elastic. So I'll have one side here done. There's one. Now I'll just do the other side. Just kind of pull it through. So then get all of your masks done like this, 5 of them. And if you left it like that, it'd be a terrible mess to sew. So I take my little scissors, and I don't cut, but I do go inside. And this is a round edge, so it's not pointed. I'm not going to poke through. So I'm just going to kind of push and kind of go along that seam and just pull it out. Then I go on this side, and I do the same thing on this side. Just kind of push and tuck, push and tuck. There we go. And I just kind of reinforce that seam, go along this edge, do the same thing. Just push it in. Along here. Okay. As you can kind of see, it looks like that when we're all said and done. Now, what we're going to do is that next pattern piece that I have, this is your next step. If I lay this on here, it's because we sewed, we've lost a little bit of stuff or material, so it's all sewn in here. But these pleats are what we want to make next. We want to have 3 pleats, and what it's going to look like is like this. So when you put this on, this expands and goes over your nose. So it goes something like that. But the pleats look so much better when they are lined up and they're across from each other. And this little direction here will help you out. So after you get them all done, turn them inside out, be ready to roll. And I'm going to show you how to pleat it. So over here, my ironing board. It's not a board, it's a shelf. And you basically are going to take, and this is my mat that I found for $5 and it works great. And this is my shelving. I've just got all my stuff there. So first thing I'm going to do is just press down. Get a little iron on here. The ironing will help you out a lot. You can pin after you get it all creased and ready to roll. My iron went to sleep on me. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to lay him down like this. I'm going to press him. This is a little bit thicker material than my last stuff, so it's going to take a little bit more just to press. I don't want to burn it, but it does get hot. It is so much easier to have an iron, guys. I'm going to push that back into place. Boom. Now I got 2. And I can eyeball this. As long as they're even, go for it. Eyeball it. Okay, so my last one, going up here like this. This one's probably the trickiest because you don't want to lose your other pleats. So I got one pleat down, holding, and stay there, and stay there. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the press to it. Boom. Really pressing down hard. Don't want to burn it, but I'm giving it a good crease. So here's my creases. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, or to the pins now. Pin it. Let it cool off a little bit. It's a little warm. So when I pin it, it's going to look like this. So first one down, the second one down, and then the third one. Now it's not so hot, and I can work with it. There. I don't know if I need another one in there because I'm going to be pulling them out. But the next part of this would be then to sew it. So when you go to sew, I like to sew where the creases are first. Then I start right about here. And I work my way all the way around. Boom, 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 going nice and slow. And then I turn the corner. I don't go past that. And I go nice and slow all the way across. It closes open that gap. Okay, so that gap gets closed too. Then I go all the way. When you get to this side, go nice and slow because you're going up over it. You can turn around and stop and go that way if you want, but you should be able to go right up over it. Make sure your pins are out as you go so you don't break your needle. And then just work your way right back over to the very beginning. What you're going to end up with is about a stitch like that. And it'll be nice around the corners, looking pretty darn good, guys, when you're all said and done. It's kind of fun once you get done. And you should be able to sew that in 10-15 minutes once you get really, really good at it. If you have any questions, you can email me, or we can go on Zoom and we can kind of do this together if you want. But I think you're going to find this is going to be really enjoyable, relaxing, and you're doing something for your community. So you can enjoy yourselves. Play some good music. Alrighty. Have a good day now.